Right. Uh, this is the introductions with regard to the 2023 A levels, right? We have done small presentations for you to go through, I think, which gives you some idea about the advanced level examination. Most of the students have no idea about what exactly the A levels are, even though they do the A levels, right? They do not have a proper idea about what the A levels and how competitive this is and what type of examination this is, right? Most of the students are not having, they just doing this examination without having a proper idea. Therefore, what I thought was at the beginning to give some idea about the A levels before I start this, right? This is online discussions, right? Through this, I'll let you know what are the basic stuff that you wanted to know with regard to the advanced level, right? Okay. Uh, if you move into this Futa, uh, advanced level examinations, right? So then these particular definitions, actually we have taken from the website of one particular from the internet actually, right? What does that say? Advanced level is a general certificate education, GC qualification, similar to the British advanced level. Yes, when we do your A levels, it is relating to what British advanced level and conducted by the Department of Examinations and under the uh, Education Ministry, right? Uh, this particular thing consists of the two grades, grade 12 and the grade 13 Puta. And hopefully you are eligible of doing the A levels after getting past with your ordinary level. I think all of you all have done your O levels and most of you all are expecting your O level results as well. Majority candidates are from the schools, right? You know that A levels can be done for the school candidates as well as the private candidates, and you can see majority have been done majority from the schools and less number from the private applicants, right? The qualifications also serves in the entrance requirement for the University of Sri Lanka, right? Make a university entrance examination. This is an university entrance examination, right? uh, Even though you call this as A levels, so then this is a university entrance examination. Just after this, if you get passed with this only, you can go into the universities. And this is in three main language mediums: Sinhalese, and Tamil, as well as in English, right? I think our students are doing these A levels in Sinhala. I'll tell you how many number of students are doing the A levels, and out of them, how many students are doing the Sinhala medium, Tamil medium, as well as in English medium. All the statistics I'll give, right? So this is the basic idea about the advanced level. The one more important thing here you need to understand, this is a university entrance examination. University entrance examination, right? Okay. When it's come to the A levels in Sri Lanka, you are having the different schemes, right? Commerce, maths, science, technology, and the art. There are five schemes with regard to the A levels currently, and in addition to these five, there's another scheme called other, right? Other scheme as well, right? It's not that means if you are not selecting any of the subjects under this, then you will be classified into what other scheme. I'll let you know in later of this discussion uh, how you will become other students. There are five main schemes under the A levels. One is a commerce, math, science, technology, and the arts. Out of these five, you have decided to do the commerce. Unfortunately, in Sri Lanka, even the commerce students knows main objective of doing the science subjects. What is the main objective of doing the science subjects? What's the main objective in the science subject? Puta? Science subjects karane to be a doctor. Why we do the maths? To be an engineer. Why do commerce? Most of the students doesn't know the purpose of doing the commerce. Keep in mind, very specifically, I would say, why a student should do commerce. Why you have decided to do the commerce, not to be a doctor, not to be an engineer. Why? Every commerce student should try to be a what? Businessman in future, entrepreneur in business, right? Entrepreneur in future. Try to have your own business once you study all these subjects. Right after the A levels, you might be enter into the university, you might follow professional examinations, you might get both academic and the professional qualifications, and then thereafter you might work for someone. End of the day, gather all these what experiences, knowledge, skills, attitudes, everything you build up, and after that, have in your mind one day you wanted to have what your own business. You have wanted to have your own business. That is what the government need to do here, right? Because all the other schemes who follow all the other schemes are the job who seekers. Let's say government spend lots on the doctor, right? Throughout the primary educations they give for 13 years, and after that they are giving another 4 years what uh, higher studies in the universities, and then the vocational training, lots of things they do. And after spending lot on a doctor, they have to, government has to give what job also for him. Government has to give the job. Government has to give the job. And for the engineers, even the same. They are not the job creator. They do not create the jobs. There should be someone who create the jobs into the economy. That is what they're expecting from you. Got it? Don't be a job seeker, be a job creator in future. That is what we need. Now, if we take this COVID-19 effect, right? In different countries, different scientists found or innovated several medicines, vaccine rather. After the scientists can do that has no doubt. So then definitely they have to do it. But when it's come to the commercialized process of it, when it's come to the mass productions, can it be done by the scientist? No, it has to be done by a businessman. Therefore, is there any reason? Is there any validity? Is there any reason, right, or a purpose just doing the vaccine එක විතරක් හදලා වැඩක් තියනවාද ඒක කමර්ෂලයිස් කරන්න නැතුව කමර්ෂලයිස් කරන්න පුළුවන් ද බිස්නස්මන් කෙනෙක් නැතුව රිස්ක් එක ගන්න කෙනෙක් නැතුව entrepreneur කෙනෙක් නැතුව you think you understand how important a businessman into the country or for economy and for the entire world. If no businessmen were there, right, none of the things can be commercialized, none of the things will be available for the entire general public. Therefore, doing commerce, we are expecting from y'all to the economy something like that. Have your own business, be a job creator to the economy, rather than just saying what, rather than just being a job seeker නේද අර දියව අපිට දියව කියලා බෝඩ් අල්ලගෙන දඟලන කෙනෙක් නෙමෙයි නේද ඔයා ඉගෙන ගත්තා ඔයා එළියට බැස්සා ඔයා රිස්ක් එක ගන්නවා you take the risk and you do the business. ඔක තමයි අපි එක්ස්පෙක්ට් කරන දේ ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ. හැබැයි some of y'all may not be able to have a business as their own business because there are several skills, there are several attitudes, there are several things that a businessman should have always in their mind. ඒගොල්ලන්ට ඕන දේවල් ගොඩක් තියෙනවා ඇත්තටම බිස්නස්මන් කෙනෙක් වෙන. සමහර ඒවා බෝන් ටැලන්ට්ස් තියෙන අවශ්‍යයි. නමුත් සමහර කට්ටියට බිස්නස් කොමර්ස් ඉගෙන ගත්ත කියලා බිස්නස් කරන්න බැරි වෙන්න පුළුවන්. කියන රිස්ක් එක ගන්න බැරි වෙන්න පුළුවන්, ඩිසිෂන්ස් ගන්න බැරි වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඉතින් ඒගොල්ලන්ට පුළුවන් කවුරු හරි රිස්ක් එකක් ගන්න බිස්නස් එකක මේජර් රෝල් එකක් ප්ලේ කරන්න. Now in Sri Lanka, there are directors or the managers who earn in what 6 figures, right? That means that their salary will be decided in millions. Right nowadays there are lots of companies who pay for their managers what 6-figure salary. That means they decide their salary in millions. Got it? Therefore you can either be a businessman or you can have your you can either can be a businessman or you can work for someone, right? You can work for someone who already take the business risk. Understood? Right? And at the end of the day, try to be what any of these two. එතකොට මේවා A levels කරන්නේ, ඔයා යුනිවර්සිටි යන්නේ, ඔයා ප්‍රොෆෙෂනල් එක්සෑම් එකක් කරන්නේ, ඔයා කොහේ හරි වැඩ කරනවා නම් වැඩ කරන්නේ, එක්ස්පීරියන්ස් ගන්නේ, මෙන්න මේ දෙක achieve කරන්න. එකක් තමයි මොකක්ද? To have your own business. Now if you take Dhammika Perera, Mr. Dhammika Perera, Mr. Ashok Patirage, those are the ones who what dominate the business field. They are good entrepreneurs in Sri Lanka right now, right? They have their own business. They are having the risk of doing the business. Under him, there are lots of employees who work. Same as that, there are really good managers even in Sri Lanka. If you take the Dan Gomez, if you take the Hans Surya, if you take the Krishan Balendra, right? They are the good managers in Sri Lanka. They are not taking the risk of doing a business, but they are working as a manager. They are working as an employee. They are giving their skills and the knowledge to a business man who already gather the risk or bear the risk, right? ඉතින් ඒක ඔයාගේ capability එකත් එක්ක in future you might decide what you're going to do. හැබැයි මතක තියාගන්න ඔයා ළඟ settle වෙන්න යන්න එපා. A level test තුනක් අරගෙන C තුනක් අරගෙන එහෙම නැත්නම් කොහේ හරි බැංක් එකකට ගිහිල්ලා පොඩි කාර් එකක් අරගෙන පොඩි ගයක් හදාගෙන එහෙම ඉන්න තැනකට යන්න එපා. මේක මේ කරන එක තේරුමක් ඇතුව කරන්න. ඉතින් ඒ නිසා ඔයාලට යන්න පුළුවන් පාත් එක ගොඩක් ඉස්සරහට යන්න පුළුවන්. ලොකු opportunities තියෙනවා ලංකාව ඇතුලේ. සහ අපිට රටත් common student කෙනෙක්ට ඒ නිසා ඔයා මොකක්ද කරන්න ඕනේ කොහෙද යන්න කියන එක හරියට දැනගෙන වැඩේ කරන්න, right? හරියට දැනගෙන වැඩේ කරන්න. Okay. And now you know what's the purpose of doing the commerce, right? Commerce student, right? Okay. What is next? Want to be a commerce student. So no, ඕක ටිකක් ගොඩක් කටියට තියෙන ප්‍රශ්නයක්. How to select the subjects in commerce? How to select the subjects in commerce, right? Let me just give you some idea about how to be a commerce student, right? ගොඩක් කට්ටියට මේ subject selection එක ගැන ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා. මම හිතන්නේ දැන් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට මේ class එකට ආපු කට්ටියට නම් subject selection එක ගැන ලොකු ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැතුව ඇති. මොකද you might have already selected the subject, but if not, let me just give you some idea about how to select the subject under the commerce scheme. There are three main subjects under the commerce. Three main subjects: accounting, business studies, and economics. There are three main subjects that you wanted to study under the commerce. What are they? Accounting, economics, and the business studies. If you follow all three main subjects, obviously you have to be a commerce student, right? And pure commerce student, how to identify? They are doing what? Accounting, economics, and the business studies. Accounting, economics, and the business studies, right? Habay, are these the only three subjects can a commerce student have, right? May tuna the only subjects tuna. May tuna the ekama subjects tuna commerce students කෙනෙක්ට කරන්න නෑ. බලන්න commerce student කෙනෙක් වෙන්න තියෙන requirement එක. මේක කියනවා commerce student කෙනෙක්ට other than these three main subjects, right? Other than these three main subjects, accounting, economics, and the business studies, you could do what? Business statistics, geography, even the political science, history, logic and the scientific method. That is a logic we call English, German, French, agricultural science, combined maths, information and communication technology. You call that as ICT. I found few students who does the combined maths in their levels, and two students I can remember, they came to my classes, and there was a one student who was doing French, right, under the commerce. But most of the students are doing either three main subjects or what, two main subjects from the main scheme, business, and then the business statistics or the ICT. That's how they are selecting subjects. These are the options that you all have. ගොඩක් කටිය හිතන්නේ ඒගොල්ලන්ට business statistics ICT විතරයි කරන්න පුළුවන් කියලා නෑ. They have the many subjects. හැබැයි පුතා ඉතින් ඒක connected, කොච්චර connected ද කියලා බලන්න ඕනේ. ඔයාගේ higher studies වලට දැන් අපි ගත්තොත් එහෙම history වගේ subject එකක් හොඳයි ඉගෙන ගන්න. නේද? logic වගේ subject එකක් හොඳයි ඔයාට හිතන්න ඉගෙන ගන්න. හැබැයි ඒක ඔයා ඉස්සරහට කරන්න යන higher education වලට කොච්චර effective වෙනවද කියන එක ඔයා පොඩ්ඩක් බලන්න ඕනේ. Right? ඒක base කරගෙන තමයි ඔයා subject select කරන්නේ. එතකොට when it's come to the commerce scheme, there are two main types of subjects. What is the main subject? The other one is the other subject. Hari. Then how to select these subjects? මේ බලන්න. මේක කියනවා how to be a commerce student. A commerce student should select minimum 2 subjects from the main 3 schemes. අර තුනෙන් දෙකක් ඔයා select කරන්න ඕනේ. Minimum. If you select 3, doesn't matter. Definitely, obviously, you are a commerce student. If you select 2 out of that, that means let's say you have selected accounting and economics, then you have to select one subject from the basket subjects, or other subjects selling, you have to select one. You have to select one. Understand what I said? If it is so, then you will be a commerce student. How to be a commerce student? Either select what? All 3 subjects under the main schemes, or select two of them and one subject from the baskets, right? Then you will become a commerce student. I didn't mention anywhere accounting is a compulsory subject. Keep in mind, Puta, to be a commerce student, accounting is not a compulsory subject, but you will have the several restrictions when you enter into the universities. Therefore, you better do the A-levels, doing the accounting by the time you do the commerce subjects. And without having the knowledge in the basic knowledge, A-level knowledge in the accounting, when you do the higher studies even, definitely you may be find several difficulties. Got it? Right. Accounting is not a compulsory subject legally, but practically it has become a compulsory subject for you. Right. And there are 2 main subjects and 1 basket subject you have to select. Okay, my method for examples. Am I a commerce student? If I do accounting, economics, and business studies, obviously yes, because you have selected what? 3 main subjects. No doubt you are a commerce student. Am I a commerce student if I do accounting, economics, and the ICT? Yes, no. 2 from the main, 1 from the basket. Yes, 1 you select from the ICT. Yes, it is true. And if you do accounting, economics, and the ICT, you are a what? Commerce student. If you do what? If you select your subjects like this, accounting, business statistics, and the ICT, are you a commerce student? No. Why? Because you did not select 2 minimum subjects from the main subjects. Then you will not be considered as a commerce student. You will be classified under other scheme. You will be classified under other scheme. Got it? A commerce student can treat. You can do, but you will not be treated as a commerce student. To be a commerce student, you have to select minimum 2 subjects from the main subject and 1 subject from the basket subjects. And I told you what are the subjects available for a commerce student to be done. Clear now? Understood what I said? Then thereafter, let me just give you some idea about what type of degrees that you all can follow if you do what? Commerce, right? I have not taken all the possible universities here. I have taken the main university, right? We'll start from the University of Colombo, and we can see what type of degree there's a question asking, in most of the schools, accounting, economics are compulsory, and you can only choose between business studies and ICT. It's quite limiting. What would sir recommend on doing for students in that positions? Yeah. Now the question is this, Puta, when you are selecting the subjects, the other thing that you need to consider, what is available in your schools. When the schools are setting the timetable, right, they have to decide, because they have the limited resources, but they have the limited teachers, they have the limited classrooms, they have the limited time. Therefore, when they set their timetables, right, when they are setting their timetables, they'll have to have some limitation, restrictions. We can't blame to the schools, right? They can't give every option that you have. Therefore, what most of the schools are doing, they are putting accounting and the economics as the main subjects, and they put the business studies and the ICT as optional subject, right? Business studies and the ICT as the optional subject. Some of the schools may do other way around: accounting, business studies as the main subject, economics and ICTs are the options. That means when they are setting the timetable, they put the ICT and the business studies at once, or ICT and economics at once. So one student If they wanted to do ICT and economics both, they may not be able to do. Why? Because parallelly, right, both the subjects are doing. You will have to select either. You have to make a choice. What? Either economics or the ICT. Then මේ මට මගෙන් අහලා තියෙන ප්‍රශ්නේ 90 යට තියෙන ඔප්ෂන් එක business studies ICT ඒක ස්කූල් එකෙන් එන that is a restrictions coming from the school. That is a restriction coming from the school, right? You can't just change that particular thing, right? Now, actually what he wanted to ask here, what's the difference between the business studies and the ICT? What is the best? That's what you're asking. Puta, I cannot give you the direct answer. What will be the best subject out of the business studies and the ICT? I do not have the sufficient knowledge in explaining this thing, but I can share some of my experiences. Most of the students who does the ICT during the past few years got a high rank in their A-levels, that we know, right? But it will be very difficult for you to get an A pass for the ICT, but if you can manage it, very difficult subject as per my knowledge, right? Very difficult subject, but if you can get a good result, so then your A-level ranks would be better, and at the same time there's a high potentials of entry into the university. High potentials of entry into the university. Clear? එතකොට ලොකු potential එකක් තියෙනවා university එකට යන්න. හැබැයි university එකට ගියාට පස්සේ you will face several issues because you have gave up the business studies. Right? You have gave up a business studies. ඉතින් business studies කියන subject එක අතහැරලා තමයි ඔයා එතෙන්ට යන්නේ. The business studies knowledge එකක් නැතුව තමයි university එකේ. university එකේදී වට සෑහෙන මහන්සි වෙන්න වෙනවා. business management ඉගෙන ගන්නදී, marketing management ඉගෙන ගන්න, HR කර ගන්න මොනද ඉගෙන ගත්තත් අර business studies කියන main subjects එකව අතහැරලා තියෙද්දි එතන පොඩි ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවා. ඉතින් university යන්න හොඳයි ICT. university එකේ ඇතුලේ වැඩ කරන්න හොඳයි business studies. ඉතින් you have to decide, you have to make a choice what has to be done. And if you all need, you can personally talk to me in selecting the, other than that, if you need any more opinion, you all can directly contact me. And then I can personally assist you in when selecting the subject. මම personally මම කතා කරන්නම්. Other than that, it's not fair to give the entire idea about these two subjects in an open seminar, right? අපි ඒක පොඩ්ඩක් කතා නොකරමු. කියන්නේ මේ දෙකේ තියෙන අනිත් වාසිය අපි directly කතා කරන්න නැතුව අපි ඉමු. What are the business studies, business statistics? Is it difficult? Yeah, that is also another thing, Puta. I think if you are having a sound knowledge in maths, right, business statistics won't be a difficult subject for you, right? Business statistics again difficult subject එක නොවෙන්න පුළුවන්. maths තියෙනවා නම්, maths knowledge එක තියෙනවා නම්, හැබැයි ඉතින් maths knowledge එක වාට weak නම් දැන් වාට හිතනවා නම් O level paper එකේ අනිවාර්යෙන් වාට ඒකක් එයි කියලා එනවාට business statistics කියලා කියන අච්චර අමාරු subject එක නොවෙන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි ඔයා හිතනවා නම් ඒක C එකක්වත් එයිද කියලා දන්නේ නැහැ, ඒක පාස් එයිද කියලා දන්නේත් නැහැ, ඒකක් නම් කොහොමද ෂුවර් නැහැ. අනේ ඒ වගේ level එකක ඉන්නවා නම් business statistics වගේ subject එකක් තෝරගන්න අපි පොඩ්ඩක් දෙපැත්ත පොඩ්ඩක් හිතන්න ඕනේ. එහෙම නැත්නම් ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. පැහැදිලිද? After that, we will move into the degrees that are available for the commerce students. In the University of Colombo, I have not taken all the universities here. We have taken few universities, right? If you take the University of Colombo, right, you can see there are several departments: accounting department, finance department, accounting and finance. Earlier there was only one department. Now they have split that into two: accounting and the finance. There are two separate departments: management and the organizational studies, business economics, human resource management, and the marketing. There are 6 departments under the management faculty of the Colombo University, and they offer several degrees: Bachelor of Business Administration, specials in accounting, specials in business economics, special in finance, hospitality and the leisure management, human resource management, international business management, organization studies, and marketing, especially in marketing, right? Those are the degrees available for the commerce students from the University of Colombo. I hope that you can see this. The University of Sri Jagadhanapura. University of Sri Jagadhanapura, that is my university as well, right? I am a product of University of Sri Jagadhanapura, and this will be identified as a South Asian best management faculty. Got it? South Asian best management faculty. The commerce student connect යන්න පුළුවන් හොඳම තැන තමයි ජාතනපුර යුනිවර්සිටි එක. පැහැදිලිද? අර ක්‍රිකට් ගහන කෙනෙක්ට ඩ්‍රීම් එකක් තියෙනවා ලෝඩ්ස් වල මැච් එකක් සෙල්ලම් කරන්න. ඒ වගේ තමයි commerce student කෙනෙක්ගේ ඩ්‍රීම් එකක් තමයි to enter into the University of Sri Jagadhanapura. Right? This is the management faculty. Right? So there you have the several subjects that you can do. There are several departments. You can see how many departments they have. Accounting department under the management faculty. Business economics, there's a separate department. State management and evaluation, public administration, business administration, commerce, marketing, human resource management, finance, information technology. There's a separate department under the management faculty. Decision science, entrepreneurship. What are the degrees available? Bachelor of Commerce, we call that as BCom degree, and then Bachelor of Science in accountancy, accounting degree, business administration, business economics, human resource management, business information system, BIS, state management and evaluation, finance, human entrepreneurship, marketing management, operations and the technology management, and the public management. Those are the degrees available from the University of Sri Jagadhanapura. And there are some more degrees. University of Kelaniya, if you just go there in University of Kelaniya, what are the give a second. අපි රජරට යුනිවර්සිටි එකට ගියොත් accountancy and finance, business management, and the hospitality management. And the undergraduate courses degree, you have the accountancy degree, accounting and finance degree there, business information technology, business management, and the tourism and the hospitality management. Right? Those are the degrees. මතන කැලණි යුනිවර්සිටි එකේ ලින්ක් එක මට මිස් වෙලා තියෙනවා මෙතෙන්ට එන්න. අපි ඒකවට මම ලින්ක් එක වෙනම දාන්න ඕගොල්ලන්ගේ groups වලට. You all can see what type of degrees are available with regard to the Kelaniya University as well. But these four are not the only universities that you all are having, right? මීට වඩා commerce student කෙනෙක්ට යන්න පුළුවන් university දැන් පෙරාදෙණියගේ management faculty එකක් පටන් ගත්තා. ඉතින් ඒ වගේ there are many things, but I have taken the four main universities. ඉතින් ඔයගේ try කරන්න පුළුවන් තරම් කොළඹ area එකේ ඇතුලේ තියෙන university එකකට ජාගන්පුර කොළඹ කැලණිය වගේ යුනිවර්සිටි එකකට ඇතුළට එන්න try කරන්න බලන්න. එහෙම නැත්නම් ඔයාගේ ගොඩාක් දවල් නවත්තලා තමයි පිට යුනිවර්සිටි එකට ගිහිල්ලා ඉගෙන ගන්න වෙන්නේ. එතකොට මෙහි ඔයාගේ family එකෙන් ඈත් වෙලා ඉන්න වෙනවා. ඔයාගේ යාළුවන්ගෙන් ඈත් වෙලා ඉන්න වෙනවා. සමහරවිට ඔයාට professional course එකක් වෙන දෙයක් කරගන්න බැරි වෙනවා. ඉතින් ඒ හැමදේම ප්‍රශ්න නිසා you try your best to be a student of any of these three main universities, right? Okay. As I told you before, the main objective of doing the A-levels is to enter into the university, and I told you and I gave you some idea about what are the universities and what are their degrees as well. Okay. Then thereafter, let me just take several statistics with regard to the A-levels, right? Several statistics. What are they? मैं बात बता. मंग मेकिंग कियाने आने how competitive to be a university student? How competitive to be to win this competition? A-levels is not a most difficult examination, but A-levels is the most competitive examination where even a single mark is very important. Sometimes single mark you lose in a subject may decide whether you go into the university or not. Sometimes single marks that you lose may decide whether you go to the university or not. So to which university you go, right? Sometimes you might not be selected for the Jagadhanapura, sometimes you might be selected for the Colombo, sometimes you might be selected for the Kelaniya, not for the Colombo. Got it? Even a single mark, sometimes you might lose your degree. What degree are going to follow, you might lose with a single mark. Therefore, this is the most competitive examination that you ever write in your life. Before that, you wrote the scholarship. O-levels is not a that competitive examination. So if you get the 99% from the maths paper, you get A. If you get the 75%, still you got A. Neither. It's not so competitive. But when it comes to A levels, no, there's a huge difference between the marks, right? You can see when it's come to the O levels, right? We have taken the statistics up to 2019. There were O level students. There were 239,218 O level students in 2016. But when it's come to the 2019, it was 334,474. Percentage qualifying for the A level 69%, 70%, 71%, 70. again A levels වලට සාමාන්‍යයෙන් A levels කරන කට්ටියකටකින් O levels වලින් 30ක විතර drop එකක් තියෙනවා A levels වලට එද්දි. හැබැයි A levels කරන students ලා බලන්න 258,000, 253,000, 263,000, 228,000. ඇයි ඒ දැන් අපි ගත්ත 2006 වල අපිට වැරදිලාද ඔය 2,338,000, 239,218 done the O levels, but there are lots of students. There are 258,193 students did the A levels. How? When they do the second times even puta, there are commons and there are lots of students who do the second times A levels, maths especially from the maths scheme or the bio scheme, they repeat their exams. නේද? ඒතකොට ඒ අවුරුද්දේ ඒ කියන අවුරුද්දේ 2016 වල එයා O level pass වෙලා නැහැ. O level pass කියන කැටගරි එකේ නැහැ. එයා ඊට කලින් අවුරුද්දේ 2015 වල 2016 වල කලින් තමයි එයා O level pass වෙලා ඇත්තේ. right? එතකොට මේ අවුරුද්දේ ඒගොල්ලෝ A levels ලියනවා. පැහැදිලිද? right. ඔය බලන්න උතන වැදගත්ම දේ මෙතන ඔයගොල්ලන්ගෙන් කී දෙනෙක් යුනිවර්සිටි එකට යන්න එලිජිබල් වෙනවද? candidates qualifying for the universities. If you take 2019, 113,651 students can go to the universities. 2019 අවුරුද්දේ 113,651 students have been what? Eligible for the universities. Unfortunately, you can see we have only what? Puta? The capacity, seating capacity of 30,000 in our university system. We can feed into the system only 30,000 students. Again, බලන්න ලොකු percentage එකක් එළියට යනවා. ලොකු percentage එකක් එළියට යනවා. 30,000 ඒක common students ලඟ විතරක් නෙමෙයි හැමෝගෙම ලංකා යුනිවර්සිටි capacity එක nearly 30,000. දැන් ඔක 31,000 32,000 වලට වැඩි gradually අපිට වැඩි කරන්න ඕනේ. අපිට එකපාරටම මේ වැඩි කරන්න බෑ යුනිවර්සිටි එකක් හදන්න ඕනේ. එහෙම නැත්නම් මේ department එකක් හදන්න ඕනේ. lecturers ලා ගන්න ඕනේ. department එකට ගන්න පුළුවන් ගාන සීමාවක් තියෙනවා. ඉතින් ඒක හරිය අමාරු වැඩක්. නේද? tuition class එකක් පටන් ගන්නවා වගේ පටන් ගන්න බෑ යුනිවර්සිටි capacity එක. ඉතින් ලංකාවේ තාම 30,000 capacity එකක් තියෙනවා. 30,000 ඇතුලෙන් you can see from the other table right here I told you how many rough number of students මේ මම 2019 statistics තමයි මම පාවිච්චි කරලා තියෙන්නේ. commerce students ලා university එකට select වෙලා තියෙන්නේ 6,000 odd amount, 6,095 or something. I have taken the approximate amount, that is 6,000. art students ඒගොල්ලෝ තමයි වැඩිපුරම select වෙන university එක 9,400. bioscience ඒ කියන්නේ doctors ලා වෙන්න ඉන්න කට්ටිය සහ අනිත් කට්ටිය medical science and the others 7,000, physical science engineers and the others 5,700, other students 2,000. So when you add all these it will be nearly what 30,000. එතකොට බලන්න how many commerce students can go to the university? How many commerce students can go to the university? Can 6,000, only 6,000 students. ඔය මම කියපු හැම යුනිවර්සිටි එකකටම හැම ෆැකල්ටි එකකම හැම ඩිග්‍රී එකකටම යන්න පුළුවන් 6,000. මම ඒක බ්‍රැකට්ස් ඇතුලේ දාලා තියෙන percentage එක 10 to 12%. මතක තියාගන්න අපිට commerce student කෙනෙක් යුනිවර්සිටි එකකට select වෙන්න තියෙන probability එක 10%. 10 දෙනෙක් හිටියොත් එක්කෙනයි යුනිවර්සිටි යන්නේ. තේරුණාද? 10කින් එක්කෙනෙක් තමයි යුනිවර්සිටි යන්න පුළුවන්. 10කින් එක්කෙනෙක්ට හම්බෙන chance එකක් අර free ඉගෙන ගන්න. අනිත් කට්ටියට ඉතින් සල්ලි දීලා ඉගෙන ගන්න වෙයි. පැහැදිලිද? right. එතකොට අපි commerce කට්ටිය ඉන්නේ තුන්වෙනියට විතරනේ. arts, science, bioscience වැඩිපුර යනවා. මම හිතන්නේ මේක තව වැඩි වෙයි. physical science වැඩි වෙලා අපි commerce කට්ටිය සමහර විට තව ඉස්සරහට අඩු වෙයි. අපි දැනට 6,000 විතර වගේ. ඒ කියන්නේ commerce කට්ටිය අඩු වෙනව නෙමෙයි. සයන්ස් කට්ටිය වැඩි වෙයි ඉස්සරහට මේ ෆිසිකල් සයන්ස් කට්ටිය වැඩි වෙයි ඉස්සරහට right මේ other scheme එක ඇතුලේ ඉන්නවා අනිත් කට්ටිය technological scheme other scheme everything right okay then මම ඔයාලට මෙතන පොඩි idea එකක් දුන්නා how many students will be selected for the how many commerce students will be selected for the government universities 6000 මම හිතන්නේ කිව්වා 10% කියලා ඒ කියන්නේ that is a 10% from the total commerce students ඒ කියන්නේ I gave you a hint there how many number of students will be selected for the will be done the A-level commerce subjects නේ මම පොඩි idea එකක් දුන්නා කී දෙනෙක් විතර A-level commerce කරනද මේ competition එකෙන් 6000 select කරගන්නේ 6000 select කරගන්නේ කීයකින්ද මේ බලන්න මෙතන කියනවා පුතා we can get that particular information from this there were 57,240 students who is doing the accounting paper in 2016 මේ වෙද්දී ඔක ලොකු වෙනසක් ලොකු වැඩියක් වෙලා නැහැ පොඩි drop එකක් වගේ ඇති ඔන්න 55,000 nearly 50,000 විතර වගේ students තමයි A levels කරන්නේ ඒකනොත් English medium කරන ගාන 2794 in 2016 දැන් මේ වෙද්දී ඕක පොඩි වැඩියක් වෙලා ඇති I don't think it's more than 4,000 right it will be like 3,500 3,600 will be currently right ලොකු වැඩියක් නැහැ මොකද වැඩි වෙලා ඇති right එහෙනම් how many students are doing the commerce 57,240 students are doing the commerce 57,000 nearly 60,000 කියලා ගමු අපි ඒතර ඒගොල්ලන්ගෙන් 6,000කට විතරයි යුනිවර්සිටි යනවා ඉතින් you can see how competitive this is මතක තියාගන්න ඔයාගේ හැම ලකුණක්ම A level paper එකේ important each and every single marks in your A level paper is important අපි classrooms වලදී කතා කරමු අපි class වලදී අපි කතා කරමු අපි කොහොමද මේ target එකට මේ දෙයට යන්නේ අපි දැනගෙන යමු මේක කොච්චර competitive කියලා. ඒතර ඔයා තේරුම් ගන්න ඔයා වියදම් කරන ඔයා නාස්ති කරන ඔයා අපත යවන හැම විනාඩියක්ම ඔයාට කොච්චර important කියලා. A level race එක පටන් ගත්තා පස්සේ හැරෙන්න බෑ. Once you start the state you have to start the race you have to go right. There's no any turn there's no stops right highway එකට දැම්මා වගේ තමයි express way එකට අපි මෙහෙන් දැම්මොත් මාතර යන්න මාතර ගිහිල්ලා නවත්තන්න ඕනේ නේද පොඩි තැන්වල අපිට එක තැනක නවත්තන්න පුළුවන් ඕනේ නම් සර්විස් සෙන්ටර් එකේ එතනින් එහාට වට යන්න පස්සට එන්න බෑ හරවන්න බෑ ආයි යන එක තමයි තියෙන්නේ එහෙම නැත්නම් මැද කොයින් හරි හැරලා එළියට එන්න ඕනේ පැහැදිලිද ආපහු ගිහිල්ලා ආයි එහෙම යන්න බෑ ඒ වගේ තමයි A level race එකක් once you start it you have to do it got it හරි okay then after that I have given another statistics මේක ටිකක් භයානක statistic එකක් how many number of students will get A pass in your A levels accounting paper unfortunately 14% 12% 14% 15% ඕක කවදාවත් 20% නම් වෙන්නේ නැහැ පැහැදිලිද 14ක් විතර තමයි මොනවාද A ගන්නේ. ඒතර B 10%. ගදගත්ම දේ බලන්න F 27%. ඒ කියන්නේ 30% කියලා ගත්තොත් තුන් දෙනෙක්ගේ nearly 1/3 will fail the A level accounting paper. Very easy paper. Right? I don't know how the students are what get this F pass. මම මගේ students වලට මම සාමාන්‍යයෙන් කියන්නේ කවුරු හරි ෆේල් වුණොත් මිනිහට තමයි රෑග් එකක් දෙන්න ඕනේ A level paper එකේ පාස් A level වලට ඒකක් ගන්න එක නෙමෙයි මම දන්නේ කොහොම ෆේල් වෙනවද කියලා හැබැයි 30ක් ෆේල් වෙනවා නියලි 30% මේක ලේසි විභාගයක් නෙමෙයි බලන්න 28% F just S passes ඒ කියන්නේ ඔය ටික එකතු කරාට පස්සේ more than 50% නෝ ඒ කියන්නේ නේද once you add those two more than 50% S O F right ඉතින් මේක ලේසි paper එකක් නෙමෙයි හැබැයි ඔය කියන තරම් අමාරු paper එකකුත් නෙමෙයි paper එක attempt කරන විදිය වැරදි paper එකට මහන්සි වෙන විදිය වැරදි paper එකට ලෑස්ති කරන විදිය වැරදි ඉතින් අපි ඒ වැරදි ටික හදාගමු අපේ class එකේ statistics ගත්තොත් ඊට වඩා සම්පූර්ණයෙන් වෙනස් උඩ යටි කුරු වෙන statistics අපි ගාව තියෙනවා I think we can see that right we can see that I think that I can do the same with your badge as well right okay I hope that you have some idea about the A level paper structure sorry A level examinations right මම පොඩ්ඩක් ආපහු විනාඩියක් අරන් සමරයිස් කරොත් A level paper එක පුතා ලියනවා 3 ලක්ෂ දෙකකට තුනකට කිට්ටු වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ලක්ෂ 2.5 3ත් අතර පිරිසක් A levels ලියනවා. හැබැයි යුනිවර්සිටි යන්න පුළුවන් ගෙන් 30000 වලට විතරයි. ඒකනොත් කොමර්ස් ස්ටුඩන්ට්ස්ලා 6000 විතරයි. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් කොමර්ස් ස්ටුඩන්ට්ස්ලා nearly 60000 54000 ඉන්නවා. අපි ගත්තොත් එම 60000 කියලා 60000 කොමර්ස් ස්ටුඩන්ට්ස්ලා ගෙන් අපි කැපැසිටි එක තියෙන්නේ 6000 යුනිවර්සිටි ස්ටුඩන්ට්ස් වල විතරයි. ඒ කියන්නේ that is only 10% from the total students. It's not easy. It's not easy, right? percentages wise ගත්තොත් අපි 2016 paper එක base කරගෙන මම මේක හදලා තියෙන්නේ. ඔය percentages ලොකු වෙනස් වෙන්නේ නැහැ පුතා. ගොඩක් වෙනස් වෙන්නේ නැහැ මතක තියාගන්න. ඔක කොහොමද ඔක maintain කරන එක තමයි examiner එක responsibility එක. Right? That will happen. Okay, right. Now we will move into your A-level accounting paper structure. A-level accounting paper structure. Puta, your A-level accounting paper generally we name as 33E. 33 is the subject number, E for English medium, right? If you are doing this thing in Sinhala medium, this will be 33S. If you are doing this thing in Tamil medium, this will be 33T, but this is 33E, which is for English medium. Your A-level account will have very, very detailed discussions on this in our classroom sessions. Your accounting paper has two parts, 33E1, 33E2. 33E1 consists of 2 hours, right? It is a 2-hour paper and which has 30 MCQs and the 20 short questions, right? 30 MCQs and the 20 short questions. There are 5 choices. So far in every exams, you had only 4 choices. Out of that, you had to select one. Again, there's a probability of providing the correct answer 25% on those papers. In A levels, only in A levels, they are giving you 5 options. So then you have to select 1 out of 5. Again, the probability of providing the correct answer is 20%. A level is the only exam that I have seen this particular type of MCQs. But in other examination, even when you go to the universities and even when you do any other professional examination like CIMA or ACC or Chartered Accountancy or whatever, basically you have only 4 options. But in A levels, you have 5 options. So you can see how competitive this is. Then your second paper, it's a 3-hour paper, consists of 5 questions. You have to, consists of 6 questions. Out of that, you need to answer 5. You need to answer 5, including the first 2 questions. පළවෙනි questions දෙක ඇතුළුව පළවෙනි ප්‍රශ්න පහකට ඔයාලට උත්තර ලියන්න ඕනේ. එක question එකක් ඔයාලට අතරින්න පුළුවන්. For each question they are giving 40 marks. 40 into 5 200. Here there are 50 questions. 50 into 4 200. 200 plus 200. 400 divided by 4. Then you will get the marks. Right. That is the paper structure of the A-level accounting paper. That is the paper structure of the A-level accounting paper. And yeah, that is a basic information that I can give with regard to the advanced level accounting paper. Right. This is a timetable available for the 2023 A-level batch. Right. We do 2 types of classes for y'all. Right. We do 2 types of classes for y'all. Physical classes and the online classes, also you call as a virtual classes. I do physical classes only in 4 locations. Montana, Gampaha, so that is the first location that we do. All the Gampaha students can come there. And it will be on Monday from 8:30 to 10:30. It has to be from 8:30 to 10:30, right? And it will be started from 5th April, right? 5th April it will be started. I think coming Monday it will be started, so then you all can participate there. And if you need any information, I have given here the contact number, so then you can call them and get whatever the information. Even you can use my mobile in getting any informations. And Nigambo students can participate ACBS Nigambo. It will be on Tuesday from 8:30 to 10:30. It will be started on 6th April. And the contact details also have given. And there's another class in my residence, right? We can get only 25 to 30 students for that. It's in Kalaniya. And it will be on Thursday from 1 to 3, right? All these are temporary times, so it will be changed soon after your schools started, right? And it will be started on 8th April, Thursday, right? Thursday, 8th April, it will be started. And my personal contact number have been included there. If you all need any clarifications, you can call me. And in Sigma, we are starting another class, physical class. It will be on Wednesday from 4:30 to 6:30. And it will be started on 7th April. And for that also I have given my personal contact number, so then you all can directly call me. But for the Gampaha and the Montana, you all can use the given contact number for any further informations, right? Even you can call me, doesn't matter, right? Okay, these are the physical classes locations, so then you all can directly visit there and participate, right? And when it's come to the online classes or the virtual classes, Puta, we do our online classes through the Mind Hub, right? Website informations I have included, and the link and everything I'll put into the WhatsApp group as well. Then you all can see, simply click that particular link and get registered with the website. And this is also 2-year program. Until you go to the exam, we do all our lectures, but as online sessions. Myself, Mr. Imran Hashim, and Mr. Dylan Anthony's, all three are conducting the lectures in this. So then you all can participate for all 3 subjects. And it's a very innovative, well organized platform, right? We have taken almost 1 year to build that particular thing, right? By getting your feedbacks and everything. After the research of one year, basically, we have, I think now we are in the positions of build some solid educational platform, right? And so then you can get registered with that. It also will be commenced on 8th April from that is Thursday from 8:15 to 10:15. 8:15 to 10:15. Got it? And before that, you will have to get registered with this particular website. I have morning, right? 8:15 to 10:15 morning, Puta. And I have given here the number. If you need any assistant, technical assistant, I think Mr. Shakir is also there in this meeting. You can use his number for further assistance. He will help you, but I don't think that you need to call them because all the things are well user friendly. You can directly register with that as well. It's a two-year program. Till you go to the exam, you can study with that online platform, right? It will be commenced on 8th April. And if you are participating for online classes, we have identified several institutions as our agent where you can make the payments and collect the tudes, right? In Kotikawat area, there's a institution called Best Institution, right? And there you can be registered, and you can do whatever the payments there and get all the tutorials. And even we have some other payment method as well, right? You can directly pay to the site as well. But if you're collecting the tude physically from the institutions, so you can use these institutions. Kiribati, there's an institution called Golden Gate, and Kurunegala students even can participate. That is a Pencil Opera. And Kandy American National School, we have selected. College, we have selected. That is called ANC. If you are from Kandy, you can select that. And Jayala, Vattala, Vambalapiti, and Ratpalana also we are searching for an institutions. Hopefully within next 1 or 2 weeks, we'll be able to clarify that as well, conclude that as well. Right. Okay. In addition to that, if there are some more students not in from this area, I think we will be able to courier your tudes for all 3 subjects. And then thereafter, that won't be a issue for you all. Altogether in the Shakir, we have the Shakir. Are you there? Shakir, are you there? Shakir?
Yes.
Yes. So we have the capability of delivering the tudes, no? We can use the courier.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We can do that as well. So then in that case, you don't want to visit to the institutions, right? You can get courier the tudes, and then thereafter you do then the payments and all you can directly do through the sites. What are the methods available for us to make the payment, Shakir?
The online method called the pay here through the online. So other method is the direct bank transfer. Direct bank transfer, you have to place the order and you will receive the email with the bank details. After that, you have to visit to the bank and deposit the money, and you have to WhatsApp me the payment slip with the order number.
If they are not using the pay here, no?
Yeah, if they are not using the pay.
Okay.
That are the 2 options.
Okay. I think those are the two options that are available for y'all, Putha. So then y'all can use those two options to make the payments. But if you are, if you are directly making the payment to the website and get deliver the dues, right? Okay, those are the main information that I can give, and the classes will be started at the given timetable from the next week onwards, right? Okay. Other than that, is there anything else that you wanted to clarify?